I'm the Disney World rat, and I just snuck into Epcot early using a dining reservation hack. The worst part? I stole this tip from my coworker. You can probably tell by now I'm back with a list of tips you need to know if you plan on eating food in Disney World in 2024. And that leads us to our first tip. Sneak into a park early using a dining reservation. Yes, certain restaurants, certain table service restaurants offer reservation times that are actually earlier before the park officially opens. Of course, the meal period that you will be dining during will be breakfast, but who doesn't love breakfast, right? It's the most important meal of the day. Is that still true? I don't know, I should look up a new study.
Somebody young looked that up.
To test this tip out for ourselves, let's go all the way back to 8 a.m. Wow, that's a really long time ago. It's 8 a.m. I'm already at Epcot, but it doesn't open to the general public until 9 a.m. What am I doing? Shh, I'm trying to sneak in. Today is a good to go day. This is something new for annual pass holders. There are certain dates on the calendar. They'll have a little circle around the date. That's the way it looks like. That's how it looks now anyway. That lets you know that that is a day you don't have to make a park reservation. And I didn't make a reservation today for Epcot, and we just got in, so it works. All right, now to checking in for our dining reservation. This sign says guests of participating resorts or with breakfast reservations, and that is us. We do not have a reservation at a Walt Disney World resort. We are not a guest at one of the Disney resorts, so normally we would not be welcome in this line, but this morning, thanks to a little hack and a couple minutes on the My Disney Experience app, actually last night, I got this last minute, we are headed in now. Here we are in World Celebration, and over here in World Discovery, the left-hand side of the area that used to be known as Future World, and everybody's been stopped here. So we will see when this opens up and does allow people through. The plan that I had was that we would go get in queue for Frozen Ever After really quickly and see if we can ride Frozen Ever After first with hopefully zero wait and not be over our 15-minute grace period, arriving at Akershus for our 8:40 reservation. And at 8:26, we're on the move. Let's see if we can actually get in that queue for Frozen Ever After and ride before our 8:40 breakfast reservation at Akershus with all the princesses. I'm gonna go ahead and backtrack a little bit to get over to the Odyssey shortcut. I'm gonna go for it. We are also completely alone over here, taking this walkway, which you access at the furthest path on the right that would take you to Test Track, kind of in line with the exit where the gift shop is. We've rejoined the herd, and no surprise, everyone is skipping Grand Fiesta tours, starting the Three Caballeros and headed straight to Norway. But it's a great ride. You should ride. You should come back for later. Winding all the way back. I don't know how to advise us yet. 35 minute, a cast member just said. Let me do some math and see if that's something we can do. I think it probably is not, but I am going to do some math, which takes me a while, so hang with me. All right, so including the 15-minute grace period, we will definitely not have enough time to ride Frozen Ever After before our reservation, unless it moves faster than the cast members said. We don't have to get out of line yet. I would like to see how far we get, but the moral here is definitely there were a lot of people in front of us, and we got here at 8 a.m., which was half an hour before early entry starts for resort guests and 40 minutes before our reservation and a full hour before the park opens to the general public. So if you want to make sure you get to ride Frozen or a ride before your reservation, you're gonna wanna get here probably at 7 a.m. 7 or 7:30 is what it is looking like to me, based on the number of people that are in front of us. So, look alive, as they say on the Haunted Mansion. We are now at the front of AllEars. We've reached this point in the line, and let's go ahead and get out. It's not gonna happen. It is 8:41. It's a minute after our reservation time. There's no way we're getting through the rest of the queue in 14 minutes. So, Frozen Ever After, it was a great idea, but we're headed into AllEars, and if you try this, I'm gonna recommend you get here a lot earlier than I did. I chose AllEars for a number of reasons. Number one, they offer early reservations. They serve breakfast, and I was able to get a reservation this morning for 8:40, which is, of course, before Epcot opened to the general public. The other reason is it is a character dining experience, and it is a character dining experience with princesses, which is really cool. Now, under normal circumstances, would I want to be a single man in his 40s going to a princess breakfast by himself? Absolutely not. But for the sake of science and for the sake of showing you the different experiences you can have with dining in Walt Disney World, this is where we are. And that is the AllEars breakfast. What did I think? I loved it. My favorite things by far were the Nordic berry compote. Oh, it's a compote. Oh, I love a compote. Okay, and it's good. Gooseberry, raspberry, blueberry, and strawberry. Did I get it right?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. Okay, and that tasted delicious on those waffles, the plant-based waffles, which were definitely softer and sweeter than American waffles, and they were heart-shaped and dusted with powdered sugar. What's not to love? Wow, she was so right. The waffles are softer and sweeter than waffles that we usually have here in America. They're very light and fluffy, which is amazing because these waffles, they're vegan, you know? But the true standout of the entire meal for me was the apple cake that came at the end. That was very delicious, moist and really cinnamony with that crumble on top. It's that kind of that flavor profile that I sort of crave as a plant-based eater, and we don't always get things that taste like that cinnamony, buttery, kind of delicious flavor. And this apple cake completely gave that to me. That alone, the fact that we get something plant-based like this on Walt Disney World property makes this my favorite breakfast in Disney World. Even over the Triple Suns Ronto wrap at Ronto Roasters in Hollywood Studios. All in all, AllEars for plant-based eaters for breakfast. This is a 100% recommendation. I think it's absolutely a destination for plant-based eaters, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that in terms of things that are available inside of parks, that apple cake is my favorite breakfast item for plant-based eaters in all of Walt Disney World. But what I am going to recommend, this is gonna be my personal recommendation to you, what I would do. Get yourself a Garden Grill reservation. And what this will do is give you access to the Land Pavilion, which has two amazing rides. It's got Soarin', which is right here on the marquee. It also has Livin' with the Land, which is a very iconic ride that the AllEars team is obsessed with. And it's possible that we could have ridden both of those in the morning before our dining reservation, especially if we use the 15-minute grace period. It's closer to the front entrance, and it's very doubtful there will be a huge accumulation of people rope dropping both of those rides. Soarin' is very popular, but I do believe you would be able to walk right up to that, ride it, head over to Living with the Land, and potentially be able to get both of those done before the 15-minute grace period is up on your breakfast reservation at Garden Grill. Garden Grill is probably my favorite character dining experience in Disney World. I don't even think of it as character dining because really I just think of it as eating really delicious food with my friends, even if I go alone. Yeah, I'm talking about Mickey, Pluto, Chip, and Dale all meeting and greeting here at Garden Grill, and Mickey is dressed up in his Farmer Mickey outfit. And if you've never seen him like that, it is truly a sight to behold. Cuter than words can really describe, and you'll just have to see some cool pictures of him here. And this is 1 point, 1 dining credit on the Disney dining plan to come here to this amazing restaurant that has like incredibly delicious food served in skillets, family style, all you care to enjoy, and you have the added bonus of hanging out with some of your best Disney friends. You can check out the review that Emma and I did at Garden Grill right here. Don't see your perfect reservation time listed?
Modify, baby.
If you don't see the perfect reservation time at a restaurant you want to eat at, don't worry, there's a hack for that. When you're going into the My Disney Experience app or at disneyworld.disney.go.com, yes, really, that is the website, to make a reservation, start with the restaurant you want to eat at and the meal period you're interested in, meaning breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and take any time they have available, even if it's not the perfect time for you and your travel party. For example, if you want to eat dinner at Be Our Guest restaurant, then and you see that they're offering something like a 8:45 p.m. reservation, but you really want to eat at 6:45, but they're not offering 6:45 right now, take the 8:45, even if it's too late and you absolutely know you won't be able to eat then. Once you've completed the reservation, you can go into future plans on the My Disney Experience app and pick out your reservation, click on it, and then hit the modify button. That's going to pull up a whole bay of other times, usually a lot more times than were available when you made the initial reservation. If you don't see the reservation time you need right away, don't panic and don't give up. Keep trying. Try in the morning, try at night, all times of day, and keep looking for that reservation time, because I have to tell you, I don't think there's ever been a time when I haven't been able to modify using this trick to get exactly the time I needed for my reservation. The next tip, play Disney Dining Roulette. What? There's no gambling in Disney World. Or is there? This felt like a secret that everyone was keeping from me because I had literally never heard of people doing this on purpose. Of course, I've done it. You show up to a Disney park and you decide last minute to book a dining reservation at any table service restaurant you can get into. Well, it turns out it is a whole thing, and it is actually something that my AllEars coworkers plan to do or plan not to do. Plan not to make dining reservations for at least one day during their vacation. So many of my coworkers agreed that they do this. They plan to do at least one day during their vacation, that I was completely shocked, and I felt like they were keeping this cool secret from me because honestly, I think it's really a fun idea. If you are not married to any one table service restaurant in a park, and you're willing to just show up and start looking in the My Disney Experience app for reservations when you and your travel party are hungry, you can get some really interesting, really hard to get reservations last minute based on people who haven't shown up, who have canceled last minute, and also just randomly reservation blocks being released right before the time they become available or they are called. A lot of bubbles just went by me. I love it. One member of the AllEars team did point out this is easier to do with smaller parties. So for instance, if you're a party of 2, a party of 3, a party of 4, then you have a better chance of getting these last minute reservations than if you were maybe like a party of 9, which I just saw try to check in at Spice Road Table without a reservation. But they do have a walk-up list, so I'm sure they got in, right? I worry about these things sometimes. Do we recommend this to you if it is your first vacation in Walt Disney World? Maybe not. You probably want to research restaurants that you want to prioritize and then do your best to secure those reservations in advance. But if you have been to Disney World a lot, you go all the time, and you feel like doing what the AllEars team does and reserving a day in your itinerary where you purposefully don't make any dining plans and just see what pops up, I think Disney Dining Roulette sounds like a really fun game, and you could end up eating someplace you've never been before, and it could end up being your new favorite restaurant in Walt Disney World. Our next tip, beware of 2-credit princesses. That's pretty. The Disney dining plan is back, and with it, the need to be extremely clear about what your dining credits are going towards. Depending on the restaurant, you could end up using 1 or 2 dining credits for a table service meal in Walt Disney World on the Disney dining plan. The goal is to stick with as many 1-credit restaurants as you can, but in the event that you need to use 2 credits because there's a restaurant that you absolutely have to eat in or an experience you have to have, then that's something you just need to keep an eye on and be aware of and make sure you're really getting the most for that extra credit. Cinderella's Royal Table is an amazing restaurant. It is inside Cinderella Castle, and it is a character dining experience with the princesses. Yes, Cinderella has all her friends over, and not all her friends over, but a lot of friends, and they come around and they meet and they greet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's gonna cost you 2 dining credits for each of those meals, even if you want breakfast, which isn't as kind of substantial of a meal in some people's minds. It's still gonna cost you 2. Even lunch, which maybe you don't wanna eat as much at lunch. And then dinner, yes, dinner is 2 credits as well. Storybook dining with Snow White at Artist Point, Cinderella's Royal Table, and lunch and dinner at Akershus are each 2 credits on the Disney dining plan. But every other character dining experience in Walt Disney World is 1 credit on the Disney dining plan. Our favorite 1-credit character dining experiences in Walt Disney World? A lot of our team said Ohana for breakfast. That's because of a great variety of foods, some of them very unique to that breakfast alone. And you're eating with Lilo and Stitch, who are super rare characters to eat with and even meet in Walt Disney World. Well, you see Stitch around more. And also Mickey Mouse. Yes, Mickey the man himself, the big cheese, Ohana breakfast. So our team is loving breakfast at Ohana for a character meal on 1 Disney dining plan credit. I am personally partial to the character breakfast at Topolino's Terrace. That is where you will see Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy dressed in unique outfits to that location. They're dressed as artists in the art that they are there in the European Riviera studying on their vacations. And the meals are served a la carte, so you will be ordering from a menu. It used to be an open secret that you could go there and order literally everything off the menu if you wanted to, and they would bring it out to you. You weren't stuck to just choosing 1 entree. What we've heard lately is that guests are going and being told that they are able to order their 1 entree and then a smaller portion of one of the other entrees to try on the side as well. This is not anything official. This is what we have heard. Always listen to what the cast members tell you and don't contradict them because we've said something. We are just going by what they have told us or what other guests have told us they have experienced. But if you want to know what I think is a really good deal, we've got a flashback to Breedlove this morning. He's got a secret to tell you. Remember that Akershus character breakfast you saw me sneak into Epcot early by visiting? Well, it's also the only character breakfast in Walt Disney World where you can dine with princesses for 1 credit, and there's Tiana. I could never cook like you. Okay, I just want to say it is shameful for me to even discuss my culinary adventures in your presence. You are the queen of cuisine. Your beignets make the world sing. Our next tip, lounge around. Now, I'm not talking about on the monorail, although I agree that is a great place to take a break between parks. But I'm talking about lounges next to some of your favorite restaurants in Walt Disney World, some of which you might not even realize exist. Many of the best restaurants on Walt Disney World property have a lounge that is connected. It's a place to order some really inventive cocktails and some small bites prepared by the same kitchen as the full restaurant next door. Something about lounges that can be a really good thing is the fact that they don't offer reservations. Now, that doesn't offer you security if you want a reservation ahead of time, but it is nice because it offers you something, a great comparable experience to eating in a full-service restaurant very last minute. Welcome to Disney's Wilderness Lodge. We have a very special place to visit here. This is Territory Lounge, open daily from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. and it is the lounge next door to Artist Point Dining, which is actually a character dining experience. Now, it's a Snow White themed character dining experience, but next door is this awesome lounge that doesn't require reservations. You can just walk right in, and they have some really amazing food, amazing cocktails, and just generally an awesome place to come and hang out. I am very excited to try the spicy macaroni and cheese. It is already legendary in the vegan Disney World sphere, and I am just trying it now for the first time. Just a note about the fact that there is a symbol denoting that the offering contains alcohol products. I asked specifically about whether the active alcohol content was anything that would be detectable, and it is not. It is completely cooked out, so it's a flavoring only, and if you wanted to give some to your kids, you would be fine. If you are a person that abstains from consuming alcohol, you should be fine as well, because it's all cooked out. It's just flavor. We have a little bit of the chorizo sausage that is in quotes. It looks like I got a bite of a little of everything on the plate, so let's give it a try. This is why they have chairs like this, so the food can knock you back in your seat. I'm never eating anywhere else on Walt Disney World property again. This is my new home. This is Flying Fish, a very popular restaurant here on the boardwalk. And next door is Abracadabar, a very popular lounge and bar that serves a menu of small bites made by the kitchen of Flying Fish. Whether you're looking for last-minute dining or just an awesome place to hang out and have a couple cocktails, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, you definitely want to check out Abracadabar. It is a magic and magicians themed bar, and it used to be connected to the Trattoria Al Forno next door. Their kitchen served these small bites here in the bar, but now it's Flying Fish next door, which is also a very, very popular restaurant. So either restaurant you might choose to be eating in, if you stop in for a full meal and you've made a reservation, stop by next door to Abracadabar and get yourself a literally magical cocktail. Now, Territory Lounge is amazing, and that plant-based macaroni and cheese did blow my mind, and I had to sit back in my recliner seat. But if you took a poll of people and asked them what they thought the best lounge in all of Walt Disney World was, they would probably come back with a unanimous Nomad Lounge. Nomad Lounge is located in Disney's Animal Kingdom, and it offers unparalleled vibe. That's how I would describe it. The first thing that's amazing about it is the fact that it's inside a theme park, so you're getting a lounge inside a park, and usually the lounges that are in parks aren't, well, open to the public. Like, this kind of reminds me of Club 33 level, sort of food and drink and atmosphere, which is a private club that costs a lot of money to join, and you don't have to join anything to come to Nomad Lounge other than scanning in and maybe joining the wait list, because that's the way that you get in, there is no reservation. You come here and you scan a QR code and you join a wait list, and you are notified when you are able to return. These are the Korean barbecue mushroom bao buns with grilled oyster mushrooms, cucumber kimchi, pickled green papaya, and I am ready to taste it right now. It has that really delicious sweet Korean barbecue flavor, and the oyster mushrooms, the grilled oyster mushrooms, have a similar effect to like thinly sliced beef. Not that I need to have simulated meat in my foods, but it's really delicious and it's fun. I haven't had a bao bun in a long time because they're not usually plant-based, but this one is, and it's really good, and I'll be getting these again. Our next tip: get the biggest bang for your buck. There are just some restaurants in Walt Disney World that are known for giving you more food for your money. And there is one restaurant in particular, the AllEars staff agreed, gives you the most bang for your buck when you consider the amount of food they serve, the cost of that food, and also the quality of the food, how incredibly delicious it is. And that place is Via Napoli, right here in the Italy Pavilion in Epcot. Via Napoli is a table service restaurant here in the Italy Pavilion known for its pizza. In fact, they have a very special method of preparing and making that pizza for you. They actually ship the water in for the pizza dough so that it is as accurate to an Italian pizza crust as possible. But it's not what you're thinking. They're not shipping it in from Italy, from Napoli. They're bringing it in from Pennsylvania. Yep, it turns out that the mineral content in the water from Pennsylvania is the same or most similar to the water in Napoli. So you are getting imported Pennsylvanian water in your pizza crust at Via Napoli, making it very special. But that's not the only reason it's special. One member of the AllEars staff said that she always recommends Via Napoli to groups who are looking to save a little money but want to dine in a table service restaurant. She said that the largest size of the pizza, which is called, so right here, the half meter, or the mezzo metro, as it is said in Italian. You're very welcome. That says that it serves 3 to 4 people, but our staff was really in agreement that when you order one of those extra large pizzas, you can really look to serve 5 people very comfortably. And that can bring the cost of the meal per person down to around $11.60 a person if 5 are eating from one of these pizzas, which means that is a very good deal. I don't think you're going to be able to find a table service meal for less than that or even equivalent to that price. Now, for $11.60 per person, you can feed everybody at a quick service restaurant or around that much, and that might be the better option for you if you are really intent on having a table service experience but you're on a budget. This is absolutely a place to consider. Our staff says it's the only place to consider. It really fits the bill in a way nothing else does. But if you're not really married to the idea of having a table service meal, because remember, you also have to tip on top of that, then maybe consider just going quick service the whole time, or plan to have one special meal here at Via Napoli with you and your family or your travel party. Next tip, eat like a kid. This tip came up with multiple members of the AllEars team, but one in particular, and I know this to be true because I have eaten with her in a quick service restaurant, she only orders food off the kids menu. And that's completely allowed, completely within your rights to do when you are mobile ordering or going up and ordering from the actual line. When you eat in a quick service restaurant in Walt Disney World, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're allowed to order from the kids menu. This is my coworker's favorite place to order off the kids menu. She said there are 2 things on here that are totally amazing: a huge slice of pizza and the grilled chicken bao buns off the kids menu. That sounds like really fancy grown-up food. And both the bao bun and the pizza are $7.79, and that's not just for that entree, because kids meals almost always include a side and a beverage. So the sides here that are available are either coleslaw or the Cuties mandarin oranges, and then you can get a small low-fat milk or small Dasani bottled water. Isn't that awesome? Like, what an amazing deal that you get for $7.79 to get an entree, a side, and a drink right off the kids menu. I think that the AllEars team definitely, they've got something here. Now, I know that this is not a revolutionary concept for some of you, but what might be revolutionary is how complete and how really nice some of the meals are. This is my friends, my coworkers' favorite spot. My personal favorite is Sachuli Canteen because I can get the spiced, cubed, crispy tofu in a kid's meal size that also comes with a side and that beverage. And it's a really great portion for the money and a lot less than purchasing a full adult size of that meal that doesn't come with a beverage and doesn't come with a side. So that's my personal favorite. And then the rice bowls at Pecos Bill in Magic Kingdom, those got a lot of praise from my coworkers, as well as the tacos at ABC Commissary, which come as a kids portion in Disney's Hollywood Studios. So really, you can't lose, you can't miss. Every single park is covered in terms of delicious, quick service kids meals that are saving you some good money when you're here in the parks. Well, I've done it. I've told you all our most valuable secrets for eating food in Disney World in 2024. Was it worth getting in trouble with my coworkers yet again? Tell me in the comments below. And if you did like this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And now go watch Quincy and Emma eat everything on Main Street. See you next time.